the Cybersecurity and Compliance Podcast with Craig Petronella. Learn about the most current IT security threats in ransomware, phishing, business email compromise, cybercrime tactics, cyber heist schemes, social engineering scams, as well as hints and tips from leading professionals to help you prevent hackers from penetrating your network and dropping ransomware or malware payloads. This podcast will arm you with the best info to defend your network against the latest cyber crimes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And now, here's your host, Craig Petronella.
All right. Well, welcome to the Petronella podcast. My name is Erin. I'm an employee at Petronella. And we also have Blake, one of my coworkers. Hello. And we are going to possibly be joined by some other people later. But if not, that's fine. But we definitely wanted to discuss what is going on in Facebook world right now. The impact that it had and just kind of our thoughts on it. So, Blake, what were your initial thoughts when you heard about the Facebook outage?
Well, I was thought my internet had went out, and I was like, okay, it's sad we live in a world where if you can't access Facebook, you feel like your internet's broken. But yeah, I remember trying to access Facebook, Instagram. I use WhatsApp pretty regularly, and my messages weren't going through. So I was just like, is my internet not working?
Oh yeah, I could imagine if you tried on 3 different apps and none of them were working. It's probably pretty confusing.
And then usually it's weird because if you're testing, you're pinging the internet, the rule of thumb is to ping 8.8.8.8, which is Google. So usually Google is known as the source. Hey, if the internet's working, let's just go to try visiting Google. So yeah, 3 different sources. I was kind of surprised, and then I reached out to Jonathan, and he was like, "No, it's working fine for me." And I was like, "No, it has to be down." So yeah, what about you? How did you?
I found out I didn't know there was an outage until you guys messaged us on Teams, or I guess it was BJ that messaged us. And then I went and looked on my app and I was like, oh, I can get on Facebook. So I thought you guys were crazy or whatever. But then the BJ said something about posting. So I tried to post. I think my post was, "Hello, is this thing on?" And it never posted. And then I messaged a couple of my friends on the messenger just to see. And then I think I checked back when I got home because I was helping out at my brother's house. So I checked back when I got home, and it was working for a couple minutes, but then apparently it stopped working, but then it was back on. So for me, it wasn't really a major anything because I was just super busy, which I know we all are. But yeah, I didn't notice it because I also haven't been on Facebook that much in the past year or so compared to a year ago. I got a little burnt out, I think. But how often do you use Facebook?
It's weird because I use Facebook Messenger pretty regularly, but not the actual Facebook side. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, I'm a member of some Facebook groups that I think are pretty awesome. And they're pretty nice little communities. Mm-hmm. And I think if Facebook were to ever go down permanently, those would be the only things that I'd really miss. And then of course, the whole advertising platform of Facebook. But I could totally live without Facebook. And I say that now, but I guess maybe a week into it, I may feel like I'm going through withdrawals or something,
You might very well and not realize that. I mean, I think I mentioned on our team chat yesterday, I was like, well, I don't think I would be super sad if I lost Facebook. But in reality, most of my pictures I have on there, all those memories are really sweet, and I have, some friends that have passed away. So it's nice to kind of, reminisce on their pages sometimes. So for all of those things, I think Facebook is great for the politics and kind of what has been whistleblown in the past few days, I think makes Facebook feel a little more, what's the word? I can't. Insidious. That's the word.
I feel like a lot of people, and this is sad to say, but I feel like a lot of people use Facebook as like their primary news platform. Mm-hmm. And there's always not a lot of credibility like attached to that. So, you might see a lot of misinformation disappear with Facebook, if that's the right word.
Absolutely. I mean, and that was the other thing too. I was kind of telling you, I was reading into, what is her name? The whistleblower's interview. She did a Wall Street Journal interview, I believe it was. But it was really good. And it talked about that too, like how basically Facebook puts profit over security. So she was saying that, if the misinformation would reduce by 10%, but profits would also reduce by 1%, they chose that 1% profit over security. Which, yeah, I mean, that's basic capitalism at work here. I mean, that's one of the issues people have with it, is that often, it's profit over everything else, including human lives in a lot of respects. So
I was going to say, like, if you think about Facebook's 1%, like the 1% versus the 10%, Facebook's 1% margins are like huge, like who knows, like millions, of dollars. So I don't think it's very uncommon for businesses to put their profits before their customers.
Well, no, it's definitely not. It's uncommon for the opposite to occur, really.
Yeah. And if you think about it, like, I think that's how you can segregate yourself as a business, by putting your customers first and, really taking care of your customers. I think that's how you separate yourself, especially in the marketplace today where nobody cares, so.
And the whistleblower is also saying that, like, these concerns were brought up to Facebook and they just decided never to do anything, because they can also help to de-radicalize the content that's seen by people, but that would also reduce profits, and it reduces the amount of time people stay on Facebook. And I mean, what incentive do they have to fix it? They don't. So that's why, like, I think I was kind of born like sort of an anarchist almost, like I hate rules and authority, but I do see the need for them, especially in a society like this where we do generally put profits over people because of just how our economy is set up. I mean, otherwise, and I'm not saying I'm anti-capitalist, that is not what I'm saying, but I do think that we have to have checks and balances in place, because people should be more important than profits.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's sad that people value money over somebody else's well-being. I think that's really sad. And I personally, like, call me like somebody, I don't know, maybe, you could say I'm a boycotter or whatever, like, for not patronizing businesses like that. But if you're not providing good service, or you're not taking care of your customers, and I immediately see that, like, in our interaction, then of course, I mean, I'm not gonna spend my money there. I mean, I don't know about you, but earning and having my business, I feel like, is a privilege. So you have to earn that privilege instead of me just giving it to you. Anybody that puts their profits over me, or I think people take their customers for granted, especially successful businesses. And so, my business is a privilege. It's not something I give away. And so the first time, or maybe the second time, I have a negative experience, it's unlikely that I'll ever spend money there again. So I don't know about you, but.
I mean, I feel like Facebook has me hooked right now. It really sucks, right? Because I enjoy the platform for, the reasons of, I don't know if you could hear me or not, but, like memories. I like the memories. I like the pictures. I like being able to go look on people's profiles and see how they're doing and things like that. I don't like it for the civil discourse. I don't like what it's done to the country and the democracy just in general. I think it's pretty crazy. And I do think that there should be checks and balances on it. I mean, I'd like to say I believe in free enterprise because I get it. But the problem with free enterprise is that, again, corporations, their goal is profit, which, it makes sense with markets and things like that. But we have people that we have to protect. And companies clearly cannot be tasked with keeping people safe for the purpose of keeping them safe if it costs them $1. So it's, unfortunately, I think that there needs to be some regulation over it. And I do think that they should take responsibility and start making changes that are going to positively impact the society instead of negatively impact it.
I would love to see how that would roll out, like how these changes would affect like the modern system, and I just don't ever, I guess I don't ever see a company like Facebook ever really caring. And I think as I understood that, I kind of knew, I mean, everybody's seen the movie The Social Network, right? I mean, everybody, and I don't know about the accuracy, but I think it was kind of inspired by some truth because,
Absolutely.
There was a bunch of lawsuits based on, or that were targeting, Zuckerberg and everything. So, yeah, I mean, there was some truth there, I'm assuming. And if you watch that movie, it just really makes me think about how terrible of a person he is and how, he really doesn't care about anybody, especially considering some of his friends that, that bootstrapped him from day one, that were investing in him and his ideas. It just really quickly shows you how, once you get some cash in your hand, like how quickly it will change you,
I mean, I just can't imagine having that mindset. It's like, I mean, even if you just had just $1 billion, like, isn't that enough? Like, why don't you start doing good now? Do good for society. Like, how much money does a person need? It's, and again, it just kind of shows that corporations can't be, they will not make the right decision, generally speaking, if it negatively impacts their bottom line at all. I mean, Facebook could lose 10% of its revenue and still be okay. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's the exact amount or anything like that, but it's like
he lost $6 billion in that whole event.
That's nothing to him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I wonder if it really faced him, but yeah, I mean, it's such a challenging thing to comprehend, all the rights, that our ancestors, fought for, we give away,
Yeah, that's a good point too. It's and maybe this is very conspiracy theorist, but I can't help but think that maybe that was a distraction. Them doing that was trying to distract from the whistleblower. The timing is really suspicious. You know what I mean? It's like your whistleblower comes out, and now all the news is about the outage as opposed to the whistleblower.
I don't know. I think I think maybe anonymous or, one of those organizations kind of wanted to make an example, maybe a slap on the wrist
Mm-hmm.
of Facebook. I mean, again, this is, this is just my opinion. I don't know. There's no grounding,
Right.
but,
Pure
but yeah,
speculation.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. But I mean, really, who would do that to him? Obviously, if Facebook's down and all the Facebook services are down, Mark Zuckerberg knows that he's going to lose money. And then obviously we know that money is probably the most important thing to him, considering, the history of Facebook and
right. But think
its
about
conception.
it. If he deflects the news from the whistleblower to this 6-hour outage, yeah, he lost $6 billion, but is he like maybe gambling and thinking that he would lose even more if people paid attention to the hearing or testimony, I guess. So
I actually don't know about that, but I actually think that, like I said, people don't value their privacy anymore. Like, I think there is some like era that we're going through right now where people are starting to value it more than they have within the past 10 years. But, where people are actually starting to read the terms of service and, what they're buying into when they sign up for some free website. But I think, the tables are turning, but I think, majority of the Americans, or some of us, know that free comes with some type of cost. I mean, nothing in this world that's awesome is free, except for like life, I guess, and air and, stuff like that. But it comes at a cost, and that cost is your information. And, that's how Facebook is monetized through, your data, your information that you give, like we were talking about, like people that go in there and they like a sports team, or like they like a movie, or they like a book, like, they're able to build a persona around you. And that really helps advertisers and, other companies that are looking to tap into the golden egg of Facebook, to understand you. And that's what an advertiser wants, or a business wants. They want to understand their customers, because once they understand their customers, they can find more customers.
I mean, but do you think this is ever going to be regulated? Because clearly businesses aren't going to self-regulate. They're going to use as much as they can to, maximize profit if possible. But yes, you can say that we as citizens have a right, or not a right, but a duty to ourselves to read all of the small print and know what we're getting into. But I mean, realistically, the world is just so fast and massive and connected these days. I feel like the onus needs to be taken off of us and put more on businesses. Businesses need to be responsible and stop trying to trick us. But they have no incentive to do so.
I don't think it can be regulated. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I think it should. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you'll see a lot of pros and cons to that. But, the second some type of entity starts intervening on behalf of these companies, there's going to be some retaliation or something. But I mean, you have to be your own advocate in that sense. Read the terms of service before you sign up. Consider what your data means to you, and consider what you want to put out there. I know people that have burner phones, that literally only use their burner phone for for signing up for like text-based services. Or I know people that don't use credit cards online. They're usually the older generation, or you can go out there and get a Visa prepaid, and and sign up for some, buy stuff with that. So that way your real ATM bank card where all of your money lives isn't out there,
I mean, I hear you saying, but to me, like, this is not what I would consider freedom. Like, having to watch my back every step of the way just to make sure that some corporation isn't taking advantage of me. Like, I don't want to have to live like that. It sounds crazy or whatever, and maybe a little entitled and spoiled, but like there is too many other things going on that I want to focus my attention on. Like, I like I said, I really enjoy the aspects of social media where I can connect with people and see what people are doing that I haven't talked to in a long time. Like, I love that part of it, but it's like, I don't want to have to keep watching my back. Like, that's like, come on, I feel like the responsibility needs to stop being put all on us. I mean, we do have to do that too, right? But to what extent? And I feel like they just need to stop. Like, they need to stop taking advantage of consumers.
I think there's a lot of people that fit into the same mindset as you. Like, hey, like my data is like, I'm okay giving away my data at the convenience of being able to connect with my friends, or being able to catch up with people, or being able to communicate with people efficiently. Like, that's what I was kind of, I think, alluding to kind of earlier. Like, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think the government's ever going to step in and
well, see, but I will say, I don't necessarily, like, I don't think that I'm okay with giving my data to, it's like we don't realize, even working in the industry that, you and I work in. I mean, I understand that the data is deep, right? And the amount of data that they have on us is extensive. But, when you first sign up for it, like, I wasn't aware that, like, I would say the word green shoe and 17 seconds later, a green shoe ad would pop up in my news feed. Like, I didn't really agree to that. I mean, maybe I did somewhere, like, officially, but I didn't, because that's the thing. It's like, this is a huge company, and you kind of have, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I want to have trust in businesses and stuff, but I guess I trusted them too much. And now I feel like I feel like not only me, but I feel like other consumers have been taken advantage of. And like, I should have done a better job keeping an eye out, but like, this is messed up. Like, I shouldn't have to do that.
Has that ever happened to you? Like, the green shoe effect?
Are you kidding? All the time.
Really?
All the time. Yes. I will say a word, and then, like, a couple minutes later, like, I get an ad for, a robotic clock or whatever it is. Right.
So,
I mean, yes, that happens all the time.
Is that something that you're actively searching on the internet, or is it something like where you say, like, oh yeah, like, let's just say you spend all day looking at shoes, and then you talk to your significant other, and then you say, oh yeah, I was looking at shoes, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden, I found this green pair of shoes that I like, and then all of a sudden, there you
No, it's both. I mean, it's both, right? It's like, when I do a search, I remember it kind of freaked me out when it first happened, like when I would Google it or whatever. But after, it's more, I'll have a conversation with a friend, and I've heard, like, I feel like pretty reliably, that when you use your Facebook Messenger app on your phone, that it can hear you. So, but I still use it. I shouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't have that experience, or I've never had that, because I mean, I don't have like an Alexa in my house, or
I don't
like
either.
Google.
I live on a boat, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have, I have no need for that. I don't have anything like that at all. I've never had one.
Well, I guess we probably should talk to other people, and see, like.
Oh, I have talked to other people.
I'm curious now.
It's all over social media. Look it up. Like, I've talked to friends like you. Now it's like kind of a joke, right? But I mean, do you use a Facebook app? Messenger app?
I have Messenger. And the only reason why I have Messenger is because like I wanted to send people Facebook messages through the web or the web presence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Without the Facebook app, and then they essentially stopped letting me send messages to people who didn't have because I wasn't using the Facebook app. So I was kind of forced into that.
Yeah.
But I think now I have the Facebook app, and I think I also have the Messenger app on my phone.
Yeah, this stuff happens all the time. And I don't even think it's necessarily like, I don't think it's when you're messaging people, but it's when you're talking.
So
yeah,
like I don't ever send voice messages, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean, like, I'm like literally like, I'll be talking to my boyfriend in my room, like back and forth. And then I get like, I don't type it. I don't do it, nothing else. I'll be like a pink rainbow. And I haven't Googled the pink rainbow. I haven't put pink rainbow on social media, nothing, just said the words. I don't know how it picks up certain things, but it does. Crazy.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll have to start paying more attention to that.
I noticed it, and then other people have like talked about it and stuff.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can't confidently say that happens to me, but now I'm going to be on the lookout for it.
But you also can't say it hasn't.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put this on the record. Like, I am starving, and I'm just going to say Chipotle like 8,000 times, like Chipotle, Chipotle, Chipotle.
Chipotle.
And then, I mean, let's see if ads start appearing. So,
okay. So you haven't Googled Chipotle? You haven't messaged anybody about Chipotle?
Nope.
All right.
Let me scroll the feed.
Because I'll say that I get Chipotle all the time on DoorDash, and I don't think I don't think I've gotten any Facebook ads for Chipotle. Maybe Chipotle is like, I don't need to advertise.
Maybe so.
I don't need to put money into that. Although I will say I like Adobe better. Better. Mm-hmm.
I used to work at Qdoba like a long time ago. It's like one of my first jobs, and
really,
and yeah. I used to make the rice. I remember like mixing all the salt and the lime with the rice. And
you're making me hungry.
All right, Qdoba. Let's see if I get ads from both. So I'm gonna scroll Facebook. And then I'm going to scroll for just a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to scroll Instagram like next to each other. And then we'll see. I don't even know like what is an ad and what isn't an ad anymore. It's like I scroll through it so quickly. Like I don't even see the sponsored stuff. So yeah, I was looking at like gardening stuff. And so I do see an ad for gardening stuff, and I expect that.
I still don't like it though. I don't know. Like I don't want them to. I don't like it. Like get your advertisement the old way, the old fashioned way. With like they're just making up rules as they go because I can. I don't like it.
I do see an ad for food. I'm starting to see ads for food.
Really?
Yeah, but then again, to be fair, I mean, I was looking at like meal prep services and stuff, so that one I can account for.
I'm getting ads for, let's see, Morning Bliss. Okay. An alarm, my own sunrise alarm. That's weird.
Yeah, watches. I look at watches all the time, so that one makes sense.
Purses and clothes. I do like purses and clothes. I am typical female in that way.
I don't know if this is gonna work for me. So I just scrolled Instagram, nothing, and now I'm scrolling Facebook.
Well, sometimes it takes longer than other times. Honestly, it might be a couple minutes.
It'll be like after obviously I'll go on to DoorDash and then make the order for Chipotle, and then it'll come to my door, and then I'll start seeing ads for Chipotle.
Yeah.
Which I expect to happen. Like, I expect that to happen. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna work for me, or at least it hasn't, or it doesn't, or so.
It has definitely happened to me. Well, another thing, I don't usually talk on headphones. I'm talking on headphones right now. Are you currently?
Yeah, I am talking on AirPods.
So maybe it's somehow, well, no, maybe it's listen. I don't know how it works. So I can't say.
Huh. Well, I guess we'll have to think about this.
Yes, I need an update. So I need an update by tomorrow. Let me know. Usually, I mean, by tomorrow, it would definitely be doing it.
Well, of course, he's going to have it by tomorrow, because I'm going to go order some Chipotle, and then they're going to see my dollars come in and try and get some more dollars.
Well, then we got to do something else. We got to do something. Talk to me about something later, and we'll see if it works. But you're not going to look up. Okay,
so how about this? I've been looking at like furniture for my house. So yeah, let's just see if mysteriously
you've been Googling it. Is that something that you haven't done?
Okay, hold on. So let me wind it back. So I was Googling it maybe a couple weeks ago, and I've been thinking about furniture, and now I am talking about it and saying, hey, I need some furniture. So yeah, I haven't done it in a couple weeks, but so let's see. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
All right, I have an idea. Something that you probably never Googled: hairbrush.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never Googled hairbrush. Never.
So tell me that you need a hairbrush.
I do need one, indeed.
Have you been looking for a hairbrush?
I haven't.
You haven't what?
I haven't been looking for a hairbrush.
Oh, okay. But now you're looking for a hairbrush.
I think Facebook and Google want me to buy a hairbrush now.
I think that Google and Facebook will make it so that you have no choice but to purchase one.
I know. I'll know everything about hairbrushes within 24 hours if this works. I will know which one is the best, and which
I can tell you which one's the best. By the way,
is it not plastic? Is it not made from plastic?
It's called Be Hairful. BeHairful. It's like a $30 brush, but it's so worth it.
So you're trying to trick me, because I was just about to Google that so I could see what it looks like.
Don't you dare.
And then all of a sudden I will start seeing hairbrushes everywhere. So I'm trying my best not to Google it.
Don't Google it. Tomorrow I'll send you a link just so you can look at it. But
yeah.
Stay curious. Stay thirsty till then.
Okay, I will. Well, yeah, I think we've probably said all that we can say about
hairbrushes
and hairbrushes too.
Cybersecurity, hair care products,
Yeah. And I think we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I'm curious.
I think we put together a form, maybe like a questionnaire.
We did, yep.
About what people think the future of Facebook security is, and a couple other questions about how people understand cybersecurity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure we're going to link that somewhere, and we should. So if you're listening to this, we want to hear your thoughts on cybersecurity and what you think the future is, and even how you think Facebook is going to be impacted by this. Besides the fact that they lost $6 billion, but what do you think? Do you think Facebook will be held accountable for this? For one, and if no, do you think Facebook will make changes because of this, or they'll just continue kind of continue on the path that they're going on, not caring, So I think we got questions in there about that.
Yeah, we do have some questions, and we are extremely interested in hearing your thoughts on the Facebook disturbance and outage. I don't think we have any questions about the whistleblower, but we do have text boxes that you can fill in. So if you want to expound on your thoughts, we definitely want to hear what everybody has to say, because I mean, this is big. Social media is still a pretty new media platform, and regulations and all that stuff are still getting hashed out. So I do think it's an important topic to discuss. And think about how if something like this could happen to Facebook and they lose $6 billion, what do you have in place to help mitigate that kind of thing? Or if you have any suggestions to give to people, that's always nice to hear too.
Me make suggestions? Is that what?
No, I'm talking to listeners as if people are, maybe somebody's listening.
I was like,
what are you talking about over there?
Yeah, I can't help anybody.
You can help lots of people, Blake. You can help me by telling me tomorrow if you got any hairbrush ads on your Facebook.
I certainly will. I'm going to keep my eyes out for it. And it's going to be the most random thing ever, because I'm going to be scrolling through something and then.
Yep. And you're just going to you're going to fall out.
What the heck is this?
Dotsy was right.
I wonder if it'll ever come to a place where just from seeing things, let's just say I'm looking at a picture of a car and I look at a picture of a tire or a rim on that car. Will they be able to tell?
That'd be really creepy. That'd be extra creepy. It's already too much, but that's just really going extra.
It's they'll be able to use the camera of my computer, my webcam, to see where my eye is at the screen. And then they'll use a combination of an algorithm that shows what I was looking at versus the direction of my eyesight.
That's consumerism consumes the consumers. That's really what it feels like. It's a little scary. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we'll get something resolved, but maybe we won't. And I guess only time will tell.
Absolutely.
All right.
Until next time.
All right. Yay, conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Blake.
All right. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Cybersecurity and Compliance Podcast with Craig Petronella. For other episodes and more information, visit PetronellaTech.com. Also visit our other websites, ComplianceArmor.com and BlockchainSecurity.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and stay secure.